In this video, I'm going to show you how I made $2,000 while I was sleeping, and I let CTKS structure do the work. I'm going to take you step by step through the trade, and I always show my results. I'll explain why I bought down here and why I sold up here, and you can see as I sold there was a spike and it's since retraced. The key is CTKS structure did the work, and I'll explain exactly how. Okay, let's run the numbers. Welcome back, CTKS students, family and members. Just overnight, in the past 11.5 hours, I made a little over $2,000, and here are my trades. You can see that I sold at 10.29, which is right here, and I bought at 9.65, which is right there. The key question, why did I do that? In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why I did it. The first thing I do to do a trade like this, I must know the structure of the chart that I'm looking at. I love the PEPE indicator because it's so phenomenal. You can see down here at around that 965 there was underpinning structure, and right up here at that 1029 we came into structural overhead resistance. You may think, oh, that's as easy as it gets. I just buy at a line and I sell at a line. Oh, it's not a bad start, but it's not actually what I do, not exclusively. There are two other charts that I need to look at in culmination with PEPE. If you're liking the content, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll give you edges that you can translate into profits inside any financial market. You'll find with the CTKS method, you can actually start planning your trades institutionally, like an institution of one. Here, I've looked at total crypto market cap and overlaid PEPE. You can see down here at PEPE's price, it came down into that buy area where I bought, and this was the sell area up here. Now, why was I buying and selling here? The answer is always structural. So, for example, when I turn on the structure here, what are we seeing here? We saw that total crypto market cap was at a structural support level, and it just dipped below it and then went for it. But there was some signs that I saw already inside the market that told me that holding PEPE overnight was a really good idea. Now we can see that total crypto market cap is going for it. Does this mean that I missed out? No, not at all. Because price is always moving in a wave, there's always structure that we can ping between. Retail always wants to buy the bottom and sell the top, but buy the bottom and sell the top where exactly? This bottom and that top, or that bottom and this top? It realistically doesn't make any difference. Your goal is to simply trade well. Now, how do you trade well? First of all, you need to know where to buy and sell. We buy around those structural support levels and we sell around structural resistance levels. What does the green do? Especially big push-ups in price. It attracts people, retail, in the don't know structure, and then what happens to them? They get dumped all over. And then what do? They typically just see this move, and as it gets faded, they sell, only to see it take off again. A lot of people look to the news and say, oh, I just want the news. The news will tell me what's going on. How can it ever? The news can't tell you what's going on because the news is always backwards looking. The news reports on what did happen, and the charts respond in real time to what is happening. This is a prime example of how structure works. We saw that huge green candle, and that's just retail, that's just the institutions calling retail in. And what happened? Right here, we had all of this overhead structural resistance, and the price came down. Why? Because the sellers are at these levels. Now let's pop across to Bitcoin, and what did we see? We saw the same rally up, and look at all of this overhead structural resistance around that 108,900 mark. And when price came down, you remember as it came down throughout the entire crypto market, it got caught at Bitcoin structural support levels. And what happens at structural support? People buy. That's exactly what structural support is all about. What happens at structural resistance? People sell. That's exactly what structure is about. Buying and selling. We can see that Bitcoin is currently trading at 109,747. Whoa, 474. Let's get into some of the mechanics. Of course, the reason that I bought and sold, I knew that total crypto market cap was at levels of structural support, and I also knew that there was a potential for Pepe to come down close to that structural support level. And if total crypto market cap took off, a good target would have been there. And that is literally a $2,000 profit while I slept. This can create a bit of stressless trading. For example, if you were buying down here and you were selling up here and you walked away with $2,000, yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, that's not really that shabby. And don't forget, all that occurred while I slept. Now, one thing that I did do, I actually was riding a stop up. So I put a stop up here. And when the price just went up there for PEP, it came down and you'll notice that I had a market fill. That's what that was. But the one thing I did, I rode that stop up all this way and it actually did incredibly well. But there was a little bit of research that I did in that time, and I'll show you what that was as well. Getting back to why I entered, this is a template from the profiting course. Now we could see around here when I bought, and you know that I bought just around there, just around that structural support level. When I bought there, what I saw was Bonk and Floki going for it. Now these are typically precursors of retail funds flowing into the market. So I thought there's a better than average possibility that Pepe can come up as well. Now, could Pepe go higher? Absolutely, it could, but I'm always seeking to create deep value. And just remember, this occurred before this takeoff. So the entire market just came into overhead structural resistance and then it decayed. This is total crypto market cap structural resistance, and this is the decay here. So having the capability of not only knowing where the structure is, but reading across structure is incredibly important. All the structure is intercorrelated and interdependent. You can see this plateau here is Bitcoin structural resistance. And we can see that Bitcoin did actually just get whacked down there, and then it had two levels of structural support which created this structural support for Pepe. But unfortunately, I was asleep when all of that happened. Now, we've since seen that the markets come up and Bitcoin got over that particular resistance and has traded quite effectively up there. But I also realize there's a lot of total crypto market cap resistance at play here. So I was very happy to take my sell there. Now, what I will wait for is for Pepe and other cryptos to prove themselves. Typically, the charts bake in any good news, but that tends to get faded over time as well. People get pulled into a position at the wrong time continuously, and then they see it decay and they sell, typically around structural support levels. Students from the profiting course, you know really well that these structural levels are cross-dependent, and because they're dependent on each other, they play through into your money chart. I'm just using Pepe as an example, but it could have been anything. Solana, XRP, Doge, it doesn't matter. These same patterns will play out again and again and again. Now, the thing to understand, these dotted lines called Standfield Levels are real-time lines on structure, total crypto market cap structure in this particular case. So we've got a lot of sellers getting in and seeking to push price down. This explains all these wicks up here. Now, what is a wick effectively? This was a complete green candle and got pushed down by the sellers here. That was a complete candle, all green, and got pushed down. Then they followed through. Total crypto market cap, structural support played in, and it's come up, but we can see lots and lots of rejections at the current time. Now, does this mean that total crypto market cap will fail? Not necessarily, but we've just got to understand this structure just literally means lots of sellers. So a lot of people would have seen this particular play because the markets are open 24/7 and said, oh, it's going to go higher, and bought here and later got faded. And we know this total crypto market cap had two structural levels of Bitcoin support. Total and Bitcoin must be viewed together. Now it does look like total crypto market cap has some follow through here, so that's really good news for the crypto market. We talk about liquidations a lot, and so when we look into the entire crypto market, across Sunday we had about $170 million worth of liquidations, and the vast majority were short liquidations. This poor guy, look on ETH, he got whacked for $12.33 million. Ouch, that would hurt. If that specific trader understood total structure across total crypto market cap and Bitcoin, they would have been very reluctant to take a short. For example, we knew that just around here, total crypto market cap was really strongly structurally supported. And we also saw in ETH that ETH had been basing, and when it bases, it is a very high probability that it's going to reverse. We know total crypto market cap and Bitcoin had structural resistance around that 2560 level. And we've seen since that Bitcoin came down into structural support, and that coincided with ETH structural support around that 2526 level. As total crypto market cap and Bitcoin took off, ETH filled this positive CTKS gap, and boy oh boy did it fill it. Look at that. ETH is literally trading at 2600. If that trader knew what they were getting themselves into, the fact that they were getting a lot of structural support, a positive CTKS gap, shorting under those conditions is literally suicidal. Please let me know in the comments, would you like to learn more about CTKS gaps and how they're applied? And you can see all of this overhead structural resistance has worked to a ping. If you'd like to learn more about gaps, just simply leave the word gap in a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Now, coming back to this page, we know that a lot of shorts were liquidated, and this particular player who came into ETH obviously didn't understand structure. And whoa, what is he going to tell his or her partner? Honey, I lost all our houses. Now, this liquidation map is on CoinGlass. So if you go up to liquidation is just what we were looking at here. But if you go to Model 2, and you type in PEPE, you're going to see some really interesting stuff. Now look at here, all around that level, that's where I sold my particular position, and I was raising my stop up. When price spiked up and then retraced, I sold at around there. Now the issue was, I knew that was a lot of liquidity here, and the market makers would go for it. That's what they do. And we also know Rule 262, which is confidently trust SLs or Standfield Levels, because there was an overhead structural resistance or SL playing through here, and we also had so much structure on total getting hit, I thought, fair enough, I'll take that particular position off the table. So you can see there's a number of things that play in if you have an understanding of structure and how to read across charts. It's an absolute game changer because you'll see things that other people who lose a lot of money, I'm talking tens of millions, are obviously not looking at, to their detriment. Also, when you stack probabilities and you look across the crypto market, you'll find that there are some leading pairs which can give you a very good indication of what the market could be doing next. If you'd like to make money while you sleep, just like this, you can do so. It just means that you need to learn what you're doing. The markets are unlimited opportunity machines. You don't need to worry about making money, as counterintuitive as that is. You have to worry about trading well and understanding what you're all about. There are a ton of free resources at ctksmethod.org. Please go and check them out. You'll find it's absolutely incredible stuff. And please make sure that you download the free cheat sheet. It's just a legend when it comes to understanding how all the world's markets move together. And yes, it matters. And if you would like to get the PEPE indicator, PEPE is a really good one. It pays. You can just get it through just clicking the yearly and this particular one. And annual levels are very different. They're investor levels. Inside the service, we do all of the levels for each month, and we look through all of these different charts. But these particular levels give us the intercorrelation and interconnection of what the markets are doing. And that's where I got the Bitcoin and total and ETH levels from. If you would like me to analyze any of these specific charts, please let me know in the comments. You can make money just like I do if you understand the rules of the game and you can read across charts and stack probabilities. And for members of the service, please keep your eyes on the emails from TradingView. They'll let you know exactly what charts have been released for this month. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.